Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and today we're going to be playing Foganapur. Now, I'm sure you can guess already from the thumbnail and the title that today is all about fog, and it's actually once again Megano 33 series, which is about various towns, cities, etc. Now, I'm kind of assuming, and it may be that I just don't quite understand the origin of this word, that it's almost like a play on word of the word Singapore, which I know nowadays is like a big metropolis, but what really came to mind was more the fact that it was a small kind of port town, like trading post when it was a British colony back in, I guess, late 19th century and then early 20th century. So they didn't actually gain their independence until 1965. And up until that point, it was really just a small trading post that made that was beneficial because of the natural harbor that it had in the area. And it's really that when it gained independence that it suddenly grew into the city that it is now, and we all know. I say suddenly, it did take a few decades, but enough for people to actually remember what it used to be beforehand. So that's essentially what you can see here is Sleuth walking down one of the alleyways of what being a small trading village, trading town, of Foganapur. Anyway, that's my imagination. Let's take a look at today's puzzle and rule set from Megano 33 with Foganapur and the following set of rules. Fantastic. All the rules, I believe, are going to be visible within box 5 once again. So first rule is normal Sudoku rules apply. That means place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3 by 3 box. Then we have adjacent digits along a green German whisper line must have a difference of at least 5. So if you imagine that this cell here is a 2, then this cell here is going to have to be, pardon me, what is it going to have to be? 7, 8, or 9 to be 5 or more away. We don't exactly have a German whisper line that's more than 2, like a length of 2 cells in here. But essentially, just always remember that German whisper lines oscillate between low digits 1, 2, 3, 4, high digits 6, 7, 8, 9, and usually back and forth if it's a little bit longer than 2 cells. No 5 on there at all. Digits along a magenta renban form a set of consecutive non-repeating digits in any order. So we've got 4 cells here on this renban with a 2 on it. Now the remaining here could be 1, 3, 4. That would work. That's essentially the set, a set of consecutive digits. It could be 2, 3, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. What I couldn't do is have, for example, 2, 3, 4, 9. They're clearly no longer consecutive. I'm just coming up to 9 as we think about the next variant that's up there. That would break the puzzle. They are clearly not consecutive. We also have a black dot between cells indicates cell values with a 2 to 1 ratio. So if you imagine that this cell here is a 4, for example, this cell would have to be 2 or 8, so that essentially one cell is double the other. Right, what else do we know? A white dot between cells indicates cell values with consecutive values. So if this is 7, 8, or 9, this would have to be 6, 7, 8, or 9, so that it is indeed consecutive. Essentially one, let's be more specific. Let's call this 9, let's call this 8. That would be appropriate on this white Kropke dot. They are clearly consecutive. Not all dots are given, so let's see, an 8 here, a 4 there, clearly in a black Kropke dot away, as in 8 is double 4. No black Kropke dot in this fog, not a problem. A 7 there, this would be a white Kropke dot. Its absence, again, doesn't cause any problems. Then we have digits in white circles must appear at least once in the surrounding 4 cells. So essentially, the digits 1, 5, and 9, and I'm corner pencil marking them, will have to appear in one of these 4 cells around that circle. Last but not least, of course, while you guys are excited about this puzzle, the grid is partially covered with fog. Correctly placing digits will clear the fog around that cell, and no guessing is required. So if this is indeed a 2, then all of these cells that are fog and next to this 2 will be revealed and hopefully allows us to make some progress in this puzzle. That's all the rules we have for today. As always, if you want to play along, link will be in the description down below for you to do so. And with that said, I'm going to restart the clock and see how I get on. So I'm really just waking up here. It's on like 4:30 my morning. And I'm trying to rush this to make sure that you actually see it per our normal posting time. So there's quite a few constraints here. Now, I can't put the digits 1, 5, and 9 up there. Essentially, what this quadrant circle is saying is that one of these three cells is in here. Now, it clearly, at least one. It could be two, of course. What it couldn't be is 1 and 9. There's no way I'd be able to link them in here. But it's not enough. It doesn't tell me if it's a 5, for example, because I can have a 5 here, a 1, 9 there, and then, you know, there's so many options then at that point. So it's a bit of a struggle, actually. It's useful, but not useful enough. Let me think about this. So one thing that I'm sort of half tempted to do is to do just a bit of coloring of polarity. So if you remember, German whisper lines, one low, one high. We know that there are no 5s on German whisper lines, and therefore you're not going to jump from, let's say, a 6 to a 4 with a white Kropke dot. So these are going to be the same polarity. I don't know what that is, low or high, but they will be. And these two are clearly going to be the opposite polarity. So I've got 2 of each. Now, this includes 1 of 1 and 9, and we know they can't both be on here, as in the 1 and 9. So one of them is definitely up there. So at a minimum, I can account for another purple or orange up here. Where am I going with this? The fact that I've used one of the purples means that I can't have 4 purple digits here, otherwise I've broken it on this renban. So the 5, I'm starting to feel pretty confident, is in one of these cells. Yeah, kind of for that exact logic. I have to have the 5 on this renban because I can't have 4 purples and I can't jump from purple to orange without going through the 5. And then the orange cell, one of the 1s on 9s, definitely has to be up here. And then the question is almost, is it a purple and orange or is it 2 oranges? Hopefully that made sense. Because essentially up here, let's just assume for a second that purple is low. So essentially, we're saying that the 1 and... Actually, no, we can't. That's a bad assumption. Let's say purple is high. The fact that 5 is on here means it can't include either 1 or 9. Because to get from 9 to 5, it's 5 cells. It's 9, 8, 7, 6. I'm not going to get to 5. And because this is... See, yeah, so the 5 is definitely on there. Therefore, neither of these include 1 and 9. 1 and 9 have to be up here. So this is indeed a combination of purple and orange. Now I've got 3 oranges, 3 purples. So can't be 3 oranges, 3 purples. No. Yeah, one of the purple is on there. So essentially I have 2 purples, a 5, and an orange. Which means this is going to look something like 3, 4, 5, 6, or 4, 5, 6, 7, depending on... Come on, Sluice, finish that sentence. Depending on whether purple is high or low, because we've got either 2 low and 1 high, that one, or 1 low and 2 highs. That's the combo. So if I just put all of these pencil marks in here for a second, Clearly the 5 is not down there, it's up here to satisfy this quad circle. Now, if this is 3 or 4, well, it couldn't be 4 because 9 is not available, so that would have to be 8. And then the nature of this would mean that this would have to be a 7 because the 9 is not available. So essentially, if this is a 3, 7 is outside the circle, it's 3, 4, 5, 6. Then this would be 2, and because that's not 1, that would be 4. So that's one possibility. Now, the other possibility, I'm just going to wipe all of these out for a second, is that this is a high digit, not a low digit. And if it is a high digit, what would that mean? So it would have to be from 6, 7, because we said there's a maximum of 2 high digits, which would force, well, it can't be 6, because the 1 is not available. It would have to be 7. So that would be 2. And because the 1 is not available, that would be 3. And then that would be 8. And then this is always forced to be 4. Fascinating. So I said this is either 7 or, if it's 7, it goes to 2. And what was the other one? If it's 3, it will go to 8. So this is a 3, 7 pair. This is a 2, 8 pair. This is 1, 9. And then in here, it's 5, and then 4, 6. And then the extra digit, the extra high or low, is that cell. Fascinating puzzle. Right, lovely break-in, Megano33. So this has to be consecutive. It's either 3 or 5. These are a 2, 5, 8. We know that from the quadrant, given we've only got the 4 in here. Really doesn't feel like enough information. Hang on, like I'm genuinely really having to take a second and think about this. Obviously, the 5 makes this as 3, which makes this a 7, gives us an 8, and this is a 3, etc., etc. 2, come on, 2. And we now know that purple is low, orange is high, and I can't believe I type with that as well. That's an 8. Because the 1 and 9 in here. And what else? Not a 2. And then I think it's onto this renban. Is it onto this renban? It might actually be onto this black crop kidot, because the 2 and 8 means it's not 1, 2, not 2, 4, not 4, 8. It is just 3, 6. It places a 3, 6 on this renban that's going back into this box, so that's going to be interesting. You can see there's a 6 of some sort in here. I'm really just having to take a second here and think about what's going on. This is a fascinating puzzle. So if it's 3, I think I've broken the puzzle, because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which means it's either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or some other 5 consecutive digits, which always includes a 4 if this is 3. And none of these can be a 4. This foresees all of them, including the cell that's outside the box. So that has to be 6, that has to be 3. Now with this quadrant, that means the 6 is now in here, and then I have a 6 down there with Sudoku. In fact, that 6 can't be there. It is in fact in here. And then there is a 7 and 9 in these 3 cells somewhere. Okay, we'll come back to that. 6 in here. So this must include a 5. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5 must include a 5. And I'm actually thinking, because the 4 again sees all of them, it is exactly that. Since I can't go any lower, since none of these could be 4, it is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I just quickly pencil mark all of that. Move the 6s. These are not 8s. That's not a 7. And then these two digits have to be consecutive. So they can't include the 5, because 5 would only be consecutive with the 6 in here. So the 5 is gone. So the 5 is in one of these two cells. That can't be a 5. That's an 8. And then these are not 8s. And the 5 is in one of these two cells. So they're looking at this cell, which can't be a 5 anymore. That's a 2. That's a 5. This is 1 or 3. This is no longer an 8. 5, 7, 9 triple means that the 8 on this renban has to be down here. And then these three cells are now just known. They're 1, 2, 6. 1 and 2 can't be here. That's 6. These are not 6s. 1 and 2 are looking at the 1, 3. That's got to be a 3. And I think we are well and truly on our way at this point. German whisper line, probably interesting. The fact that it was just revealed as such is telling us something. So Sudoku says, there's quite a bit of Sudoku here to be done. So 2 is in here, 8 is up there. All of that is interesting, but it's actually the 3 that's interesting. 3 has to be one of these 3 cells because of this 3. Now, if it's on here, we can clearly see it has 2 neighbors, which can only be 8 and 9, but the 8 is not available. So that can't be 3, that is the 3. Right, if this is a low digit, it can only be a 4, because 1, 2, and 3 are all gone. So that would have to be a 9. This would have to be a low digit as well, and it's not 2, 3, or 4, it would have to be a 1. So, long story short, possible. Excuse me. If it is a high digit, it's not 6 or 8, it'd have to be 7 or 9. If it's 9, that can't be 4 anyway, because you can't have a double 9. And it's not 2 or 3, so that would have to be a 1. And then to get back to a high digit from the 7 or 9, again, the 6 and 8 are not available, this would be 7 or 9. So that's kind of a complete pencil mark here. Not enough to break it, unfortunately, or resolve it, I should say. 5's not here. 5 is in one of these two cells. It's really not enough. With all of these pencil marks, I'm wondering if this white Kropke dot now is interesting. So it can be 1, 2. Can't be 2, 3. Can't be 3, 4. Could be 4, 5. I would say so. Sorry, I'm just thinking about the 1, 2. That would force this to be a 9. Because of this quadrant, that would be a 9. Then that would be 7. So I'm going to remove the 9 option from here. And then the 1 would place. So if this is 1, 2, that would be 9. That would be 1. I don't know why I just removed that. Never mind. It's not 3, 4. It could be 4, 5. Just think about that for a second. So that would be high, that would be low, that would be high. And then there's a 7, 9 dance in here. Can't be 5, 6. Can't be 6, 7. Can't be 7, 8. Can't be 8, 9. So it's essentially one of these cells. And it's 1, 2, 4, 5, which means this is indeed like a 7, 9 pair. And there is a 7, 9 thing going on here that I just need to appreciate. So 1, 2 means this is 9, means this is 4, means this is 1. That seems totally legitimate as far as I could tell. And then that would be 9. Yeah, like all good. And if that's 9, that would be 7. Then that can't be, if that's 9, that would be 9. That couldn't be 9. So the 7 would be down here. This would be a 6. This would be a 5. Like it all unravels is the conclusion. If this is 1, 2, and it all works. If it's 4, 5, well, that can't be 4 anymore. So that would be the high digit. That would be the 7, 9. We end up with a 7, 9 pair. A 1, and then another 7, 9, which would have to be resolved almost like externally from here. And then we've got actually a quadruple of 1, 5, 7, 9 in here. So two cells that we should be able to just pencil mark, 6 and 4 and 6. The fact that there is a 4 in here says there has to be a 4 somewhere in there. Okay. What am I missing in this box? So essentially there's another 7, 9 in here. It doesn't have to be. No, it does have to be because there's an 8 there, so there has to be at least one 7, 9 in there. And it's a maximum of 1, 7, 9. So this is 7, 8, 9 with a definite 8. And then this is 1, 7, 9 with a definite 1. Not that it's helping me. Actually, this 6. Come on, Sleuth. This is a 6. That's a 6. That's a 2. Has that helped? Not sure if it has. I'm just going to take a second to see if I'm missing something else that's obvious. Wouldn't be beyond me to do that. 1, 2, 4, 5, 7. So no, it's not quite covering everything just yet. There is a 3 in here. Still haven't resolved these. So yeah, I think we've been given everything to be able to resolve it from here. I just need to probably think a bit harder about it and use the fact that I had missed some Sudoku earlier. So let's try this one more time. I'm pretty sure I said the 1, 2 option fixes everything. 9, 4, 1. 9 would make this 7, would make this 9, and would make these into a 5, 7 pair. Okay, that's pretty solid still. 4, 5 would make this 7, 9, make this 1, would make this 7, 9. And then down here would make this a 1, 5 pair, which it can't be. I get that right? No, 7, 9, 1, 7, 9. So that would be a 4, 5 pair, pardon me. Which seems fine to me. I'm clearly missing something. Or something I'm not appreciating. How are we doing for time? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fully pencil mark this for my benefit. So if this is 1, 2, that's 9, that's 4, that's 1, and this is a 5, 7 pair. I mean, 9 in here would make this 7, make this 9. So yeah, I can't resolve this 5, 7. That's fine. And if this is 4, 5, I said that would be 7, 9. That would be 1. That would be 7, 9. And then that would be 4, 5, 7. So that, yeah, it doesn't seem to have a resolution as it is. Unless I'm missing something. I don't think I am. There's no negative constraint to save me here. I'm going to move on then. Maybe these 3 cells. So I've got 1, 2. I need 3, 5, and 7 in here. I've got a 5, Sleuth. Come on. 9, 7, 5, 1. Not 1. It does give me a 7, 9 pair. Sorry. 4, 5 in here. And if this is 1, that's not 1, 2, that's 4, 5. That's a 7, 9 pair. That is 2, 3. Right, we can move on from what I was doing there. 5 in here actually hasn't helped. So there's a 1, 2, a 4, 6, and a 9 somewhere. And the same, no, not the same thing, because the 5, no, it's still a 1, 2, a 4, 6, and an 8. Okay. So 7, 9, 7, 9, 7, 9, 7, 9. So this 7, 9 is different from this 7, 9. It's not here. I mean, these two are the same. It's not there. It's not there. It's down here somewhere. Really not very useful. So there's a 7, 9 down here, plus the 2, plus seemingly 1 of 1 and 8. So this is 1 or 8. Then there's a second 1 or 8 somewhere in here, plus a 7, 9, plus the 2. How's that helping me? I've got a 4, 5, 6 triple. There's a 3 up here. Right, maybe this one is going to be more useful. Let's just think about that one. So I said it's either a 7, 9, it can only be a 9, a 1, 8, it can only be a 1. So that's covered the 1, 8, it's covered the 7, 9, and it can't be 2 because it is 2. So it is a 1 or 9 up here, plus a bunch of digits I can at least corner pencil mark, such as 4 and 5, not a 5, plus a 1 or 9, which sadly on the cell that I'm on, they're all possible. I mean, obviously not the 5, but I don't feel like I'm advancing here. 1, 9, 5, 4, 6. How are we doing for time again? Okay. 7, 9, 7, 9. So we have essentially here a 1, 8 and a 4, 5. And then we have a 1, 8, a 4, 5, and a 7, 9. So yeah, I am missing something. 7, 8, 9 doesn't help. 1, 2 seemingly can't resolve. I mean, the fact that there's a 4, 5, 6 triple in here. And then a 3. So what I haven't placed is 7, 8, 1 and 2. 7, 8, 1 and 2. So this is 1, 2, 7, 8. Not very useful. 1, 2, 7, 8. Yeah, it's just not very useful. We don't have a 4, 5 in here. It's back to that. Is there some Sudoku I'm not really appreciating? So like, if I just revisit all the variants, resolved, resolved, essentially resolved, 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 done, 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 and done, and done. So yeah, like I'm not getting this. It has to be Sudoku then. One, two, four, six. Hang on, I didn't mean to put nines in here. Eights, I think. Then another 1, 2, 4, 6, and an 8. I must have a typo somewhere that I'm just not seeing that's causing this. I'm gonna switch on pencil mark checking. Sleuth. We won't speak about this. It's quite early here, that's my defense. 9. Not 9. This is 4, 5, 9. Not 1, so that's 8. Not 1, not 8. That's 2, 7. That's 2, 7. Has that resolved anything for me? Not yet. No 8s. So this is 1, 4, 5. This is 1. That's 9. We really shall not speak of this. 3, 5, 7. Can't be a 5. Down here is a 4, 5 with 8 and 9. With a 4, 5. Clearly this German whisper 9 is next. So if it's 3, it would have to be 8. Come on. Because it can't be 9. If it's 7, it would have to be 1 or 2. Which doesn't actually help me. What about this one? If it's 3, it would have to be 9 because the 8 is gone. Which would make this not 8, 9, it would make this 4, 5. Possible, okay. And if it's 7, it would have to be 1, which would make that's not a 1, that would be 2, 8. Interesting. 5 is in one of these cells. The fact that this is 1, 9, 2, 8, 3, 7, it's telling me something that I need to once again appreciate. So this is not 8, 9. So if this is 9, 8, that would be 4, 5. That wouldn't be 9. And it couldn't be 6, so that would be 1, 2, or 4. Still possible, 1, 2, or 4. And then up here would be 1, 2, or 4, which is also totally possible. Okay. And if it's the other way around of 1, 7, and 2, it's not 7. Come on, sleuth, what's going on? 5, 7 pair, 9, 8, not 9, not 8, 1, 2, 1, 2, 4, so it can't be 6, that can't be 8, 9, that is the 4, 5, that's an 8, 9 pair. 9 is now in here. This 5, 7 is clearly next on this renban and this crop key as well. So if it's 7, it's actually quite restricted. The 7 would have to be down here because of this. It would have to have a 6 down here because of this 8. Then this would be an 8. And because this is a 5-cell renban, that it can include and it can't include a 9. So it would have to go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Now 6 wouldn't be in either of these cells. So that would be the 6, which is possible. And then the 5, 4 would have to be as such. And then with this 8, this would have to be a 2. So, like with the 7, this is entirely forced, but it does work. With the 5, however, well, this would be the 4, 6. This would be the 1, 2, just completing row 5. Which would mean that this is another 4, 6. Not brilliant. This 4, 6, does it have to be on the renban? I don't think it needs to be. I can go 5, 4, 3, 2, 3, 2, 1 for all I care, and put a 2 on here. So it doesn't force anything. So not. In the column, it's interesting. Right, so this black crop kiddo surely helps me. It's not 3, it's not 6, it's not 8. It has to be from 1, 2, 4. And it must include a 2. Pretty sure, no, 1 was reachable. I think we did say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it is within reach. There has to be a 2 in here. Can this ever be the 3? Let's just think about it. So 5, 4. Essentially, this would be 1, 2, 3 in some order. That wouldn't be the 1. So that could be 2 or 3. And this could be 1, 2, 3, and not 4. 1, 2, 3. If it's 5, 4. And this couldn't be a 3. So that's actually a complete pencil marks, isn't it? The other possibility, of course, is if I go upwards with 5, 6. Now, none of these could be 9. In fact, that 9 gave me a 4 in here. That's not a 4. I should have done that earlier. Sorry, so if it is a 5, it's climbing to 6, not to 4. That is probably going to be helpful. 5, 6. So the lowest I can achieve now is 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. I can't get to a 1 here. So this is 2 or 4. If this is 4, that's 2. This is 2, this is 1 or 4. So never mind, I don't know how to remove that. All right, let's double check this again. So if this is 7, 8, 6, I needed a 6. Wouldn't be here, it would have to be there. So it would go 7, 8, 6, 5, 4, 2. If it's 5, that would be 4. That would be 6. And with 5, 6, again, I can't do 7, 8, 9. I could do 7, 8. Can I? No, I still need to have a 4 in here. So if it's 5, 6, I couldn't place, I mean, I can place 7, 8 with a 4. So these two could be 7, 8. Then if I do 5, 6, presumably I could also do 2, 3, 4. Which would mean not 4, so this would be 2 or 3. And this is 2, 3, 4. No, not 4, because that would be 5, 4. So that would be 2, 3, 2, 3. That's always 4. Can't make this 2. That took a while. Can't be 1, is a 3. There are no 2s. This is not a 3. 6, 7, 8 now. 4 in here gave me a 5. This is not 2 or 4, that's a 1, that's a 2. 1, 2. This is 4, 6, 9. Not sure this could be 4, 6 anymore. I mean, this is all meant to be a lot tidier than whatever it is that I'm doing in here. And the 4, 5, 6 means that was never a 6. 2, 7, 8. That can't be a 2. This is 7, 8. That's the only place for a 2. That's a 7. 2 now is in here. Ooh. What am I doing wrong? Come on, sleuth. 4, 5, 6. Can't be 6. I'm confident of that. Can't be 2. Why can this not be 2? 5, 6. 3, 4, 2. We won't use that. This is 7 or 8 because we need a 2, 7, 8 triple. And again, this can't be 2. Very messy solve for me today. 1, 4 pair, of course, means that's 5, that's 4. 9 in here means this is a 7, 8 pair. And this is a 1, 9 pair. This is a 4, 5, 9 pair. That 4 gave me 6, 4. This is about it for the moment. Right, I am going to try this renban again and see if I can actually just make head or tail of it. No resolutions, no resolutions. No, no. Right. So the possibilities were 4, 5, 6. And then that could be 2, 3. That could be 7, 8. The two extremes are basically still real options. The other option is this is 6, 7, 8. And because that can't be a 6 and that can't be a 6, we've broken the puzzle. So it can't be 6, 7, 8 anymore. It's 5, 4, 7, 6. 4 and 6. Yep, 1, 4, not 4, 6. Has to be 9. Has to be 6. 9 and 8. Not an 8. Not a 5 actually. That's 3, 7. That can't be 3. That is 3. That's 7. That 3 means this is 2 or 7 to make sure this renban works. These cells are now known. They are 1, 5, 6? No, 1, 5, 8. Not 5. This is another 1, 7, 8. Seven, 8, 7, not 8. No, no resolution yet. 7 confirms that 2 that we knew from earlier for that typo I did. We'll call it typo. Being very gracious today to myself. 1 gave me 5, gave me 8. 5 gave me 9, 5. 1, 9. No 4s. A4. A5, A4, A6, A5. Kind of finally the beginning resolved. And then last but not least, A6. 40 minutes for a 1-star difficulty rated puzzle. To be fair, a lot of it was me staring at Sudoku I'm missing. So hope you didn't find that solve too frustrating. I mean, solve aside, it's still a phenomenal puzzle. You know, the way that it's resolved, kind of the fact that you always get the slimmest of clues to make progress. And yeah, that 7, 9 was lengthy. That was lengthy. There was a few things that just should have been a bit smoother and faster. Regardless, I'm sure that you guys have enjoyed the puzzle. Another great one from Megan 033. And I'll see you back soon for the next video. Bye-bye for now.